The Angels absolutely stink. They haven't made the playoffs since 2014. They haven't had a winning season since 2015. They can't win with guys like Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. They've had numerous busts like Anthony Rendon. This team needs to be fixed. So let's get to it. Before diving into the rest of the video, I want to go over today's sponsor, and that's Aura. Have you ever went to Google, typed in your name, and found all of your personal information out there just exposed for the world? Are you tired of constantly receiving spam calls to the point where you don't even look at your phone anymore when someone's calling? And seriously, I'm looking through my phone right now. I'm seeing unknown number. I don't know what the heck that number is. Who the heck are these people calling me? So this is how Aura can help you. Data brokers are out there making a fortune on your information, selling it to robocallers, spammers, or whoever just wants to know more about you, like where you live. Aura can identify those data brokers that are exposing all your information and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Brokers are legally required to remove your information if you ask them to, but it's a bit of a task, and that's why Aura will do it for you. Aura also does so much more to protect not just you, but your family from online threats. It's really easy to set up so you don't have to go out there and download a whole bunch of different apps to get things like parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft insurance, and more. You get everything at one affordable price. So while you're focusing on things that matter like going to work or school, walking the dog, taking a chamomile bath, let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online. So you got two choices. You can either let people continue to profit off your private information, or you can go to aura.com/RobbieHyde to get your free 2-week trial. The link is in the description down below. First things first, you gotta get rid of Artie Moreno. This guy needs to move on. They need a new voice. They need a new leader. They need a new direction entirely. I'm always of the belief that it always starts at the top. If this team is unable to win with all of the talent that they've had, I think the problem comes from ownership. This team needs a new direction. Get Artie Moreno out of town. For the next step, the Angels need to place an organizational emphasis on scouting, analytics, and research. When I think of the Atlanta Braves, I think winning. This team produces talent year in and year out. They have great teams every single year. Look how good the Braves are doing this year. But when I look at the front office page for the Atlanta Braves on their website, sure, I see the chairman, I see the president and CEO, I see Alex Anthopoulos, sure, I see all of the executive type of positions, but I go down a little further. I take a look at all of the positions within the baseball operations department. When I go to their front office, I see Artie Moreno front and center with his picture. I go down a little further. I see Dennis Cole, the chairman of the Angels. I go down a little further. We got the president, John Carpino of the Angels. You do have Perry Minasian in here as well. Dana Wells, the executive vice president. Molly Jolly, what a name. She's in charge of finance and administration. We got Mike Foch, the vice president. He works with corporate partnerships. Go down a little further. Deborah Johnston, she works in human resources. We got Brian Sanders. He works with ballpark operations. Where are all of the positions when it comes to the research within baseball? Where's the scouting director? Where's his picture? Where are the people when it comes to the analytics department? Where are their names? And when I'm looking at the baseball operations department for the Braves, I'm seeing so many different people listed here that are so important to the success of the organization. People that you will never see that work behind the scenes. Not even just Mike Fast, the senior vice president of baseball development. You go down further, you got the director of minor league operations, Ron Knight, the director of Latin American scouting. Go down a little further, you got a couple of analysts here in the research and development team, a data quality analyst, you got an advanced scout here. I mean, there are so many different positions listed here. Why can't the Angels list all of these positions? Why can't they put emphasis on these people that work hard in their baseball operations department? And I know it is just a website, but when I see all of these other successful teams like the Braves posting their baseball operations department, the Astros do it, the Dodgers do it, the Orioles do it, the Rays do it. Why can't the Angels do it? This tells me that the Angels organization, starting with Artie Moreno, is more focused on the business side of things instead of the baseball operations side of things. So not only do the Angels need to go out there and invest in their baseball operations, within their scouting, within their research, within their analytical department, they need to simply just recognize these people as well. Hey, simply being recognized goes a long way for your morale in the organization. organization. Now let's focus on the current payroll. When I'm taking a look at the upcoming free agents, the big name is obviously Shohei Ohtani. He's probably going to be the biggest free agent of all time, probably the most hyped free agent in all of sports since LeBron James when he went to the Miami Heat. But you got Shohei Ohtani here. Randall is coming off the books. You got CJ Cron coming off the books. Moustakas is coming off the books. And then you got some club options on Escobar as well as Aaron Loop. You got some other guys like Gio Urshela. He's coming up on arbitration here. So I think the Angels, they need to wipe the slate clean. They need to start fresh. And the first guy that I'm going to let go is Shohei Ohtani. Obviously, Shohei Ohtani is the greatest player in the universe right now. He can do it all. He can hit. He can pitch. He's absolutely amazing. He's the modern-day Babe Ruth. But Shohei Ohtani, it's going to take a lot of money to re-sign him. He wants to go to a team that's going to be in contention. And for the Angels and my plan, they need to start fresh, and I think they need to let Shohei Ohtani go. Yes, that is going to be a hard pill to swallow for Angels fans, but I think long-term, it's going to be the right move. You can use that money you were going to use for Ohtani elsewhere in the organization and for other players down the road that are going to make your team better as a whole. And for Shohei Ohtani, I think you should offer the qualifying offer to him. He will turn it down, but this way you will get a draft pick for compensation. And as for all the other upcoming free agents like Urshela, Grichuk, Cron, Escobar, Moustakas, those guys are all gone. Up next, we're going to do the unthinkable, and we're going to trade Mike Trout. Listen, I know he's going to go down as one of the best players of all time. He will easily go down as one of the best Angels players of all time, if not the best player in Angels history. But you haven't been able to win with the guy. You've had him since 2011. You've only made the playoffs one time. You've only had one winning season since that playoff appearance back in 2015. You have a record under 500 with Mike Trout since he came up in July of 2011. Think about that. You have a record under 500 with Mike Trout, and also other guys like Ohtani as well. But with Mike Trout, the problem with him lately is he's been unable to stay on the field. If you go take a look at the games played with him over the last few seasons, the most games he has played since that 2019 season when he won the MVP was 119 last year. He's been having a lot of injuries. He's on the IL right now with a wrist injury. I think the best thing to do is part with this contract, because this is a lot of money going to Mike Trout over the next several seasons. You're going to be paying him until 2030. You're going to have to pay a decent amount of this contract. I think you're going to have to pay at least anywhere from 15 to 18 million per season to get him off of your books, because with Mike Trout, he's an underwater contract right now, because obviously you're paying him a lot of money, but he's been getting hurt a lot. He's not getting any younger either. He is 32 years old, but still he's on the wrong side of 30. So I think the best trade partner for Mike Trout is the Philadelphia Phillies. So the trade that I have set up here, I have Trout and cash, $120 million going back to the Phillies, as well as Griffin Canning. He's under control for a couple more seasons. You could throw him in this deal as well. The Phillies, they could be losing Aaron Nola this offseason. So, hey, getting a younger pitcher in Griffin Canning, I think that would be okay for the depth for the Phillies. And for the Angels, we're getting two good prospects, Mick Abel as well as Justin Crawford. With Mick Abel, he's the number 2 prospect right now, highly projectable pitcher. I think this is exactly what the Angels need in their system, as well as an uber athletic prospect in Justin Crawford. This is a guy who already has a good hit tool, but he's super athletic, super fast, really good in the field. I think if you're going to be trading Mike Trout, a future Hall of Famer, I think you should be able to get a good outfielder in return, at least one that has very high upside. Maybe he could turn into something down the road. As for Anthony Rendon, this has been one of the biggest busts of a contract ever since he signed it after the 2019 season. He was so good with the Nationals, but ever since coming to the Angels, he has been no bueno. He's been hurt a lot. Anytime he has played, he hasn't produced any of the results that we saw with the Nationals. I think with Anthony Rendon, you're stuck with this guy. You're paying him so much money. No team is going to want to take on that contract. It's different with Trout because it's Mike Trout at the end of the day. With Trout, when he's on the field, he's great. With Rendon, though, he has not been great. So you're stuck with him. See if you can get him back on track. See if you can get his career back on track. If he does end up turning back into that player that we saw with the Nationals, maybe you can look into trading him at that point. Or if he continues to struggle with the Angels, I say maybe even do the unthinkable and just cut ties. You'd have to pay the guy a ton of money, but I think whatever you can do to get him off your team in the next couple of years, I think you got to explore that. But for now, you are stuck with Anthony Rendon. After all this, I think the Angels simply need to go through a couple of years of some very bad baseball. They got to get some high draft picks, see if you can get a couple of top 10 picks over the next couple of years, and in that time, let your young core develop like Logan O'Hoppe, Zach Nato, Kyron Paris, Nolan Shanwell, Chase Silseth, Reed Detmers, Sam Bachman, Ben Joyce, Mick Abel, and Justin Crawford that we just got back in the Mike Trout trade. There's also a lot of talent coming up in the next couple of drafts when it comes to college prospects next year. You got Nick Kurtz and Chase Burns out of Wake Forest, Travis Bazana out of Oregon State, J.J. Weatherholt out of West Virginia. There's some good high school prospects as well, like Connor Griffin, who has a 5-tool upside. You got lefty Cam Caminiti, who has really good velocity. You got P.J. Morlando, who won the high school home run derby at the All-Star game. Use the next couple of years to let the young core develop and get some good draft picks. And if I'm the Angels, I'm going to bring in a guy that can help build up the farm system, that can help bring in some good draft picks, some good international prospects. And this is a guy that actually just became available after being fired from the Red Sox, Chaim Bloom. He showed a great ability to build up their farm system again, to bring in some good prospects. I think he would be absolutely perfect for this Angels front office. Now let's go to the 2025 offseason, and we're still going to be rebuilding here. We're still going to be letting the young guys get their legs under them, but I think you can get a head start, and I think you need to go after a guy like Max Fried, who is going to be a free agent. I think the Angels need a winning type of pitcher on their squad, a guy that knows how to win, who won a World Series in 2021, could end up winning a World Series this year as well. Max Fried is a bulldog kind of a pitcher. He comes from California. He went to Harvard Westlake High School in Los Angeles. I think this would be the perfect fit. They need someone with his mentality, a guy that knows how to win. And if everything goes according to plan, the Angels could have a rotation in 2025 of Max Fried, Reed Detmers, Patrick Sandoval, Sam Bachman, and Mick Abel. Now let's head to the 2026 offseason. We just signed an impact pitcher for the rotation in Max Fried, and now we need to sign an impact bat, and the perfect guy, I think, is Vladimir Guerrero Jr., following in his father's footsteps, who went to the Angels in 2004, had a great career with the Angels. He was amazing there. Vlad Jr. is exactly the impact bat that the Angels need to go along with a lot of these young guys who should be better at this point. You would have a lineup of Zach Nato, Nolan Shanwell, Vlad Jr., Taylor Ward. You got Logan O'Hoppe in there as well. And by this point, Justin Crawford should be major league ready. He would be a deadly addition atop the Angels lineup. Now let's go to the 2027 offseason, and I think they need one more piece to make themselves a truly great team, and I know just the guy. They got experience with signing guys from Japan in Shohei Ohtani, and there's another guy that's going to be coming over, should be coming over in 2027. He goes by the name of Roki Sasaki. This would give the Angels a rotation of Max Fried, Roki Sasaki, Reed Detmers, Sam Bachman, and Mick Abel. That would be a lights-out rotation for the Angels. That could end up being one of their best rotations of all time. But those are my ideas on how to fix the LA Angels. What would you do to fix the LA Angels? What do you think they need to do over the next several seasons to get back to being a winning organization? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you can on the way out, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you next time.